Welcome to our second episode of the FCSO Connection, Protecting and Serving Franklin County. I'm Maria Durant. We want to inform you about what the Sheriff's Office is doing to keep you and your family safe each and every day. Here's Sheriff Dallas Baldwin to explain what you'll see in this show.
Hello, I'm Sheriff Dallas Baldwin, and thank you for joining us for the second edition of the FCSO Connection, Protecting and Serving Our Community. As students, parents, and teachers prepare for a new school year, this episode focuses on safety, awareness, and the important role law enforcement plays in protecting our community. Our Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force discusses the dangers of oversharing personal information, especially on social media, as students head back to school, and how a few simple precautions can help keep children safe both online and in the real world. Our Patrol Bureau shares important reminders about school bus safety, what drivers need to know as students are picked up and dropped off each day, and why slowing down in school zones saves lives. We also introduce you to our School Resource Officers, or SROs, and highlight the positive impact they have on students, staff, and school safety throughout the year. Interested in a career in law enforcement? We take you inside our cadet program and give you a look at what it's like to train, learn, and prepare for a future in public service. And finally, we revisit an unsolved homicide from 2002. More than 2 decades later, investigators continue to seek answers, and someone may hold the key to helping bring justice to the victim and closure to the family. Thank you for tuning in, and now back to Maria.
Thanks, Sheriff. We all know it is important to monitor what your child is sharing about themselves on social media. But our Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force says parents need to watch what they're sharing too, before that information gets into the wrong hands.
Anything that a predator could use to exploit a child, they will use.
August is back to school month, and the first day of school is exciting for both parents and their kids. But be careful what you share on social media.
Specifically, when we share things about where our children go to school, where we live, the times of day that our kids are going to school, the times of day that our families are not present at their house, where these things may seem innocent and harmless enough as we're sharing them on social media, people who would intend to do us harm can take advantage of those things, unfortunately.
Sergeant Joe Smith is part of the Franklin County Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. He says predators are always lurking on social media, looking to find ways to get a hold of your child.
The things that we see with some regularity in these type of cases are when kids are posting about problems that they're having with their family. Predators will look to take advantage of that. But even if it's not things that are necessarily a problem with the family, sometimes they can be what a predator would presume to be sexually suggestive. So this could be revealing clothing in excess, right? And what we kind of like to say is if you wouldn't wear it around your grandma, don't post it on social media.
Sergeant Smith says parents and kids should follow the same basic safety rules online to keep everyone safe.
If we can just kind of keep everything, hey, this is the public space. How would we behave in front of grandma? Let's make that our online presence. Locking it down to make sure that it's only open to people who we're familiar with, and then not revealing so much personal information about where we live and the times of day that we're home and when we're going to school. I think that's probably some easily applied safety rules.
Make sure you and your child have a discussion about how to make it as hard as possible for predators to access personal information about them. But if someone you don't know does reach out to your child, Sergeant Smith's advice is to stop, block, and report.
So if somebody reaches out to you and you make communication, stop talking to them immediately. If you see something bad happens, block them immediately, and then you can report that to the Franklin County ICAC, the Internet Crimes Against Children.
School is supposed to be a safe place for kids, but every year now in the news we hear of active shooters or active shooter threats. Our deputies know how to respond to these calls, but those minutes before we can arrive can be crucial to saving lives. So that's why we offer training to anyone to learn how to handle yourself in an active shooter situation.
Back to school is an exciting time, but it's also an important time to make sure schools and teachers are prepared for the worst-case scenarios, an active threat.
It's something that school teachers have and have to think about. And so they reach out to us thinking that we're the professionals to teach them on how to respond. And especially at this time of year as we go back to school, it's on the forefront of people's minds like, hey, let's get through another school year safely.
Civilian Response to Active Shooter Events, or CRAZE, is a free training offered by the Franklin County Sheriff's Office.
So it is basically tools in a toolbox on how to respond if you were ever in an event where there was an active threat to your life. Those tools are given to you.
The 4-hour class starts with an instructional lesson where deputies teach avoid, deny, defend. They use real-world examples and statistics to show how avoiding or leaving a potentially dangerous situation is the best option.
You can't get hurt if you're not there. So nothing is more important than your life. No school board meeting or anything, not work, you can leave.
If you can't avoid or leave, you should deny.
We do that through barricading and locking doors. And then we say, look for your secondary exits. Consider things like windows to be an exit to the outside and get away from that shooter.
The last resort is to defend yourself.
We don't want just people laying underneath tables or anything like that. We want people to defend themselves.
After the teaching, deputies walk through some techniques on how to stop bleeding wounds by using different types of tourniquets.
Until the bleeding stops.
The number one killer in any active shooter event that we've had is actually people bleeding to death, is blood loss from stab wounds or bullet wounds. So we teach how to keep the blood in there because it can save lives. So we just want people to have that knowledge of you can help each other.
Deputies try to make the training as helpful as possible by running through real-life scenarios.
You don't know how you're going to react until you are in one. We're going to run scenarios so that people know how they're going to react if it ever were to happen, or if they have that plan in place, or if they make a mistake here today, they identify that and then it sticks with them. So the next time that if anything happens, it doesn't happen to them.
Training like this can be invaluable for teachers and school staff.
Not only are they able to actively prepare us for any sort of situation, but they're able to show us why it's important, not just from a you don't want a bad guy to get you kind of view, but also here is the actual data on what we teach you and how it can lead to saving your life.
While no one wants to go through something like this, preparing is key.
I want people to know how important it is to be prepared for a situation and how important it is to not just take this training and apply it to school, but also to where you are.
In addition to schools, CRAZE training is available to colleges, businesses, hospitals, and places of worship in Franklin County. If you're interested, go to our website and look for CRAZE under the Programs tab.
We are just getting started here on the FCSO Connection. Still ahead, keeping kids safe in a school zone. The important tips you need to remember so you don't get an expensive ticket and have to face a judge. Plus, you may have heard about school resource officers, but do you know what they do? We share the important role they play, not just reacting to situations, but actively preventing them. And later,
she was found inside her house on her bedroom floor. She was actually found by her family.
A cold case more than 2 decades old is new again. How fresh eyes from new detectives hope to crack this case wide open.
It's the way that everybody conducts business nowadays. Everyone has a phone, everyone has a smartphone. Now you take your phone out, you punch on an app, and all that information is there. And for us, the information provides safety and information to people, and that's the most important.
The Franklin County Sheriff's Office announcing our new smartphone app. It's designed to help keep people within Franklin County safe by giving them easy access to information and providing alerts and updates on everything from road closures and weather conditions to major crimes.
If there is an emergency in the neighborhood, it could be a shooting, it could be a fire, it could be a critical incidents, we can immediately push it out to let everybody know in the neighborhood, hey, stay away from this area, this is what's going on. And on top of that, the sheriff can also put out things that if there is something going on, he can explain what's going on. So sometimes that helps mediate all the confusion that happens.
Search for the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in your Apple App Store or the Google Play Store to download the free app today.
Welcome back to the FCSO Connection. I'm Maria Durant. This summer, you may have gotten used to not seeing those flashing lights from a school zone or having to wait behind a stopped school bus. But they are back, and that means you need to be aware or you could have to pay a hefty fine.
It's back to school season, but not just for students. Everybody needs to be aware, especially when you're driving through a school zone.
Watch out for kids on bikes, scooters, skateboards. They can come out on the road a lot faster than what you might think, and you just really got to be paying attention.
Captain Ed Schillig with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office Patrol Division is one of many law enforcement officers you will see on the roads, making sure you are driving the speed limit.
So every year when school starts, we are really enforcing, taking a lot of action during that first few weeks just to get the word out, educate the public, remind people kids are back in school, and we will be writing citations. And if you are going fast enough, you will have to make a mandatory court appearance, which means you do have to go down to the courthouse and talk to a judge about it.
The speed limit in a school zone is 20 miles per hour. Captain Schillig says enforcement is focused on keeping school zones safe and stopping drivers whose actions put students at risk.
When I do my enforcement, I normally start writing tickets, normally around 30, but most of the time I focus on the faster drivers, ones that really aren't paying attention. And those are 36, 40, 48, 50, 53. I mean, it really gets up there, even though during regular hours, the speed limit's still 35 and people are exceeding even that limit.
Another big priority for deputies is watching for people passing a stopped school bus. If you see the bus has its stop sign out, the message is simple: stop.
We do still see people that pass a stopped school bus. We are very aggressive in tracking those individuals down, issuing citations. It is a mandatory court appearance. The bus drivers themselves are allowed to report you to us, and we can issue a ticket based upon their testimony. So the best thing overall is just don't pass a stopped school bus.
Captain Schillig says he's heard every excuse in the book, but one really sticks out.
The most common excuse I get is, "Oh, I didn't notice." Well, if you didn't notice the flashing yellow lights in the school in session and the kids around, are you really even paying that much attention? So again, it's that inattention, it's being distracted, and you just can't do that when kids are around.
If you see someone passing a stopped school bus, call 911 or the non-emergency line and report it. And if you are out driving, keep your eyes on the road and watch your speed limit.
Biggest thing is just pay attention. You gotta pay attention when the school zone hours are restricted, when the speed limit's down to 20 miles per hour, and even outside of those times, just drive safe.
Once your child is inside the school, safety is just as important. That's why the Sheriff's Office has dedicated school resource officers in the Southwestern City School District. But their role is much more than breaking up fights or looking for guns. It's all about developing relationships that will last a lifetime.
I think there's excitement around the first day of school.
That excitement isn't just for students, it's also for the school resource officers in those schools.
Our job is to be that steadiness for them. We want to make sure that we are constants for them, and we understand that these kids are coming here and this is where they're safe.
Sergeant Dara Metz supervises the school resource officers for the Sheriff's Office. There are 2 full-time officers, with one assigned to Westland High School and the other Franklin Heights High School.
The great part of being a school resource officer is it's the best of both worlds. You know, you get to build relationships with our community members and the young people in our community, but at the same time you get to help them grow along the way. So, you know, you get to be the mom, the dad. Sometimes you have to, step up and be the police officer and be like, hey, you're making poor choices here. So it's our job to educate them, give them the foundation to make really, really good decisions in the future.
But along with providing advice, these officers also have another unique way that they interact with the students. Both are canine handlers.
These dogs are for mental health, trauma, victim advocacy, and wellness. So they spend a lot of time just helping us to build those relationships. Kids love the dogs, so that gives them a reason to come and talk to us as officers. So it helps to break that ice and really, really get in starting to know them. And it's all because they want to pet a dog.
Before becoming a supervisor, Sergeant Metz was the school resource officer at Westland High School. She says the job is all about building relationships with the students. So once they leave, they're not afraid to talk to law enforcement.
My favorite part of being a school resource officer is the relationships I made. I mean, with staff, with the kids. I mean, you go all in and you become one of their cheerleaders, you become their confidant, you become their kind of like their mom away from home. I had a couple kids calling me mom, and I'm like, I'm not your mom, but I understand that. They are wanting guidance. And it's our job to be there. And being present is the best gift that we can give these kids.
Even though Sergeant Metz is no longer a full-time school resource officer, she says the job made such an impact on her that she just can't stay away.
I still work all the games here. I joke around, but this is my home. I have a really strong heart for this school, the people inside of it, and I believe in what it stands for. And I think when you own that as a school resource officer, it makes your job great.
Still to come on the FCSO Connection, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to become a deputy. Hear what it's like to go through the training and become our next crop of heroes. Plus, a woman's murder more than 20 years ago remains unsolved. We take you inside the case file as new detectives try to find out who killed Mary Matheny.
It doesn't matter who you are,
where you live, what your age is,
or how tech-savvy you may be.
Scammers are targeting you. They're trying to steal your money and your personal information.
They may pretend to be a law enforcement officer or say there is a warrant out for your arrest.
They may claim you've won money or a prize.
But no matter the story, it always ends up the same way. They'll tell you to pay up or give them access to your bank account. So pause. Never share that information. Just hang up.
Stay alert.
Stay informed.
Call your local law enforcement agency if a scammer contacts you.
And remember, if this sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Welcome back to the FCSO Connection. This month, a new crop of deputies will enter our training academy hoping for a career in law enforcement. Now, the training that they go through is an intense process. With me now to discuss the training that these deputies go through is a recent graduate of our academy, Daphne Cheyenne Kronig, and also with us is Deputy Marcus Green from our recruitment division. Well, welcome both of you guys.
Hi,
thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So let's start first. We've got a lot to talk about. Let's start about that training process. Talk a little bit about that and what it all entails when you're at the academy.
I think the biggest thing it entails is teamwork. You walk in there as an individual, when you walk in there with 20 to 30 other people that you've never met, mostly. I think the most important thing is remembering when you step foot into the facility, it's your team, and it's no longer I. You're all working together, rooting for each other. Might take a minute to figure that out, but I think by the end of day one, they usually do. Every day is something new. You're learning something new. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Not every day is all classroom either. We have a lot of state mandated hours that are within the classroom, but also a lot of state mandated hours that are outside the classroom. So some days you go in, you might just be a full 8 hours in the classroom, or it's, you're in the classroom, then it's time to do physical things. And some of those physical things could be physical fitness, techniques on how to protect yourself or protect others. Every day is just something new. It's very fortunate that we're able to go to an academy and only have to focus on our academy. Like, our job is show up to the academy to learn, to train, and to become the best deputy that we can anywhere in the department how that looks.
Right. And, you're saying that you go there, Monday through Friday. How long is the training process?
The training process is about 10 weeks. Normal hours, you're there in the morning, you get off in the evening. One of the things that they instill in the academy would be valuable life principles or lessons of being on time, showing up, doing your part, being a part of the team, not just... You worry about getting yourself there, but when you're there, you worry about everybody coming through and pulling together and being one.
Yeah, which I think is really important, and I'm sure, Deputy Green, as you are recruiting for the sheriff's office, you might be thinking about that as well. So what makes a good recruit?
I think when you think of a good recruit, it needs to be somebody who's who has a heart for helping people. No matter what division you're in this organization, you're going to be helping people. It may look a little different, but we're helping others. We're doing things for others, and you have to be open to doing so. So that's where you start. And then it comes to, you got to have integrity. You got to have patience. You got to have a diverse way of thinking. Every situation is different. Day to day, it's different. Nothing's going to look the same. So you got to be ready for different types of circumstances and different type of situations, and just be prepared and open to handling things differently, because nothing's uniform about it.
So what would you tell someone who's on the fence about applying?
Someone who's on the fence, I would tell them that if you're looking for something meaningful and something that can really make you feel important and give you the opportunity to touch other people's lives, I think it'd be a good way to go about it by joining the sheriff's office and becoming a deputy. I really think doing this job gives me a different sense of importance. Obviously, we have things that we do outside of work that are important, but it gives me a different sense, and I'm proud to be a deputy, and I think other people would enjoy feeling that feeling as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Deputy Chronic, anything else to add to that? I mean, what would you say to someone who, is on the fence, thinking about should I or should I not? Maybe even, a female deputy.
I think, if there's a female out there who's questioning or thinking or second guessing or anything about it, I think it's really important to reach out to our recruitment. I know you can go online, submit a form, and one will reach out to you. Experiences I have is they respond very well, very, very quickly. They've answered questions I've had. I think the biggest thing to do is to reach out and gather more information you can, so you can know if this is something you want to do or not.
Right, absolutely. So then what, piece of advice would you give to a new recruit who's about ready to get into that training academy?
Advice I would give is to be a sponge. Absorb as much as you can from the instructors. You have instructors who have all kinds of experience and have done things over their length of their career, and you just take from what they have to tell you, take from the experience, absorb all the information that you're given in the classroom, absorb all the information you're given outside of the classroom, rather that's any of the physical stuff, or even we go on mini tours, absorb information from those tours, as all of that information will be useful inside the job every single day you're there.
That's actually what I was thinking as well, just being a sponge and being open to learning. As you're moving through our career, you're never going to get to a point where you know everything. There's so many different divisions, so many different opportunities. You're going to be learning. I've been here almost 10 years, and I've learned something new last week. Like, just always be open to learning and never think you're too good to learn something new.
I kind of want to base touch off that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I came in also with prior experience, and when I stepped foot into the academy, I was very, very open into learning more and not becoming better, but knowing more information. So I came in, like I said, with prior experience, and I still learned every single day, came in with an open mind, ready to learn and take on more information to make myself become better.
So if someone wants to apply, what do they need to know or what do they need to do?
They can go on our Sheriff's Office website, or they can contact me personally. My cell phone number is 614-981-2481. I would love to speak with them and help them out and answer anything they need throughout the process.
All right, sounds good. Thank you both for joining us. Really appreciate it. And, good luck as your continued career here at the Sheriff's Office.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, if you would like more information about how to be a part of the Sheriff's Office, just go to our website. That's sheriff.franklincountyohio.gov to learn more about the application process and requirements.
Coming up next, a woman killed inside her own home, and more than 20 years later, no arrests have been made. But new detectives share how they hope to solve this cold case.
I'm Sergeant William Chapelier with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office Drone Team. The drone team is part of our Support Services Division. We're going on SWAT barricades, search warrants, we're assisting patrol. We are on call 24/7. So we'll go to our normal assignments throughout the day. Say a call comes in, pilots who are already on duty on patrol that have a drone with them, they're going to be the ones responding.
You said Georgesville Industrial Mile?
For us, it's about keeping our people safe, the officers that are on scene, as well as the public. We've had missions where a drone going inside of a structure gives us that situational awareness where a deputy or officer isn't rounding a corner and encountering a suspect with a weapon, not knowing they're there. And there's never really a dull moment. You're constantly learning about the technology and having to educate yourself. And I work with great people on the team that really have a heart for what we do.
It's been a mystery for more than 2 decades, but now new detectives are revisiting the evidence, hoping the renewed investigation will finally lead them to a killer. Tick by tick, the years have passed. More than 2 decades have gone by, but now time could be what helps solve this cold case mystery.
We've also had quite a few technological advances since 2002.
Mary Matheny lived a very routine life.
She'd get the paper, make breakfast, do the crossword every day. Usually got that done between 11 and noon-ish, and then she'd usually be out in the garden until evening time. She'd come in and watch news, some sports, called a friend, pretty much every day.
But on August 28, 2002, that routine suddenly stopped.
Here's a picture of her house where she was found.
The 75-year-old grandmother lived in Clinton Township on the same street as her son and daughter.
How did this all unfold?
So she was actually found by her family. She was found inside her house on her bedroom floor.
Detectives Aaron Klossing and Allison Buck are now making it their mission, combing through the original investigation, looking through case files.
I've gone through this almost page by page.
Where do they think the crime or the attack happened?
In the backyard.
In the backyard.
Or at least that's where it started.
Yeah, at least it's where it began. Then there's the trail that leads into the house and into the living room. There's more evidence, more biological evidence there, and then it's further into the bedroom.
That's where the blood trail started, was outside.
What else do you guys have to go on, or what else did they have to go on when they were investigating it?
So they found her with blunt force trauma to her head. That was the cause of her actual death.
Money also found in the bedroom, so they don't think this was a robbery.
There didn't appear to be anything really removed from the home. Like, everything seemed to be in the same kind of immaculate condition. Her house seemed to be kept in a relatively ordered and immaculate condition. Like, from her kitchen table all the way through to her bedroom, everything was very neat and tidy. There were only a couple places of disarray.
So with a new look at this cold case and new forensic technology,
as things have moved forward and technology's progressed and we get new venues and avenues for searching and researching and looking for things, you have newer people who don't know the case looking at it completely new and potentially having different ideas, different thoughts, different avenues we could go down that may not have been seen before.
and hoping the time that's passed brings a breakthrough to finally solving the murder of Mary Matheny. That does it for this episode of the FCSO Connection. But remember to download our free Sheriff's Office app in your app store to get safety alerts sent straight to your phone, or if you want to learn more about the Sheriff's Office and what we do. You can also go to our website at sheriff.franklincountyohio.gov or follow us on all social media platforms. We will be back with a new episode of this show in November. Until then, stay safe, and we'll see you again in the fall.